World's biggest infrastructure project is being built by a Chinese company. Nicaragua's ambitious canal project is expected to be one of the largest trans-ocean waterways in the world.
The world's biggest infrastructure project is being built by a Chinese company. Nicaragua's ambitious canal project is expected to be one of the largest trans-ocean waterways in the world. Hey, imagine this, China's got shovels ready to dig a giant canal through Nicaragua in 2025. Crazy, right? Rumors are buzzing, Ortega's pumping up the hype, and the world's got its eyes peeled. Could this be the trade shakeup we've been waiting for, or just another big talk flop? I mean, they've tried before and crashed hard. Stick with me, this story's got messy history, wild stakes, and a global twist that'll keep you guessing. Let's dive in and see what's really cooking. The canal's long and bumpy past, alright, let's dive into this thing. Nicaragua's canal dream has been around forever, and it's been a roller coaster from the get-go. Picture the 1800s, ships are schlepping goods the long way around South America, and everyone's itching for a shortcut. The US sends guys with maps and machetes to scope out Central America. Nicaragua is in the running with its big lakes and shorter coast-to-coast hop. Lake Nicaragua is this huge freshwater beauty, perfect for cutting through, and the vibes. All this could work. But then Panama swoops in. Narrower, less digging, and a slick pitch seals it. Nicaragua's out. Panama's canal opens in 1914, and that's that. Or so they thought. Fast forward to 2013. China's on the rise, and Nicaragua's still dreaming. Enter the Hong Kong Nicaragua Canal Development Group, or HKND, led by this telecom hotshot, Wang Jing. Nicaragua's government hands them a 50-year deal to build a 278 kilometers monster from the Pacific at Brito, across Lake Nicaragua to Punta Gorda on the Caribbean. We're talking $50 billion, way more than Nicaragua's whole economy. The plan's nuts, 2 giant ports, an airport, resorts, the works. December 2014 rolls around, and they throw a big groundbreaking party. Shovels hit dirt, cameras snap, Ortega's promising 100,000 jobs. Sounds like a slam dunk, right? Nope. It falls apart fast. Wang's cash dries up in China's 2015 stock market crash, he loses something like 85% of his fortune. No money, no digging. Meanwhile, locals are pissed. Thousands of farmers face losing land to this thing, and they are not quiet about it. Protests pop off, machetes waving, signs screaming, "No al canal." Environmental folks jump in too. Lake Nicaragua is a lifeline, home to rare bull sharks and 500 little islands. A canal could choke it with oil, salt, and ship traffic, wrecking fishing and drinking water for 500,000 people. By 2018, HKND's offices are empty, Wang's vanished, and the project's dead. Nicaragua officially kills it in May 2024, scrapping the law that started it all. So why does this old mess matter? It's the ghost haunting the new hype. That first try showed how fast dreams can tank, money runs out, people push back, nature bites. Nicaragua's government got burned, China learned a lesson, and the scars are still there, displaced families, trashed trust, a lake that dodged a bullet. But here's the thing, Ortega's not one to let go, and China loves a redo. That bumpy past is why everyone's side-eyeing the 2025 talk. Can they pull it off this time? Or is it déjà vu? It's a slow burn story that's got me hooked, and I bet you're curious too. So how do we get from that flop to today's buzz? Let's roll into the latest twist. It's a doozy. Ortega's new plan in 2024, okay, flash to November 2024. Managua is buzzing with this fancy China-Latin America business summit. Picture Daniel Ortega, Nicaragua's big boss, strutting up to the MIC with a grin and a map. He's not messing around. He drops a new canal plan, 445 kilometers of pure guts. Forget the old Lake Nicaragua route. This one starts at Bluefields, a sleepy Caribbean spot with big dreams. It'll carve north, hit Lake Calzabolca near Managua, think murky waters and city vibes, then punch out at Puerto Corinta on the Pacific. It's massive, 540 meters wide, 27 meters deep, built for ships too big for Panama's canal. Ortega's got his game face on. Panama's in trouble, he says. Droughts cut its ship traffic by 29% in 2024, leaving cargo stuck and prices spiking. Nicaragua's fix: a wider, deeper path for global trade. Bluefields gets a shiny deepwater port. Imagine cranes towering over the jungle, ships the size of football fields sliding in. The route's got 4 chunks, locks at El Guizo and La Fuente, even an artificial lake tossed in. Corinto, the endgame, a Pacific hub ready to hustle. He's selling jobs, cash, a way out of Nicaragua's broke streak. Sounds like a winner, huh? Here's where it gets juicy. The summit's packed with Chinese investors, and KYC, a big deal engineering crew, signs up right there to build the Bluefields port. No hard numbers yet, but it's a signal. China's sniffing around. Then Ortega throws a curveball. China and the US could fund this together. Wait, what? The US, with its Panama obsession, teaming up with Beijing. It's wild, but his betting trade wins over rivalry. American companies might want a cheaper route too. The room's buzzing. Nicaragua's back in play. But hold up, no start dates locked in. 2025's a maybe, not a sure thing. No budget either. $60 billion is a rough guess, and Nicaragua's got pocket lint. KYC's port deal is real, but the canal's a leap. Ortega's been around forever, ruling since the 80s. Elections? Sketchy. Economy? Limping. Is this guy for real, or just blowing smoke? Locals are split. Hope's cool, but they've heard this tune before. Ex-posts are lighting up, some call it genius, others a pipe dream. You tell me, is this the spark or just more hype? But what's China really up to here? That's the next piece, and it's a big one. China's involvement today. So, China's the heavy hitter in this story. Let's break it down. CAMC is the name to know, short for China National Machinery Industry Corporation, a state-backed giant that's built dams in Africa, roads in Asia, you name it. They're not here to play small. They snagged the Bluefields port deal in November 2024, a deep water kickoff that could set the stage. But the canal? That's the real prize. And China's eyeing it like a kid at a candy store. Why's China care? It's all about control. Panama's canal is a choke point, US-friendly, weather-act, and too small for today's mega ships. Nicaragua? A workaround. 445 kilometers of freedom, less tied to American rules. China's Belt and Road thing, $1 trillion in projects worldwide, is all about locking down trade routes. Nicaragua is perfect, poor, desperate, and right next to the US. A canal here's a power move, a way to flex without firing a shot. They're already busy. CAMC's fixing up PUN Airport, a $430 million gig due by 2028. Summit deals in 2024 tossed in a wind farm, a metal plant, a drug factory. Nicaragua's China's new playground. The canal fits the vibe. Think Pakistan's Gwadar port, a sleepy spot turned trade hub, or Djibouti's base watching shipping lanes. But it's not all rosy. HKND's $50 billion bust in 2018 stung hard. Wang's cash evaporated, and China got stuck with a big fat zero. Lesson learned, big bets can backfire. So what's the plan? Maybe they start slow. Build the port, see if Nicaragua's got the guts. Then go big. Bluefields could run solo shipping jobs while they test the waters. Or it's a fake-out, rattle the US, look tough for Latin America. No real risk if it flops. China's quiet, no canal funding's confirmed, no timeline dropped. They are pros at this. Look at Sri Lanka, loaned big, took the port when it tanked. Nicaragua could be next, or not. Ex-chatters split. Some see a master plan. Others, a rerun. What do you think? China's all in, or just teasing? The US isn't laughing, though. Trump's even talked retaking Panama. A Chinese canal next door? That's a red flag waving. But if it works, it's a trade gold mine. Asia to Europe routes shift. China's king. It's a slow cook, and we're all waiting for the next taste. Wonder why it's still stalled? Let's dig into the roadblocks. They are hefty, environmental and local impacts. Okay, folks, if this Nicaragua Canal ever gets off the ground, nature's in for a rough ride. Like seriously rough. Let's start with the old plan from 2013. Back then, they wanted to slice right through Lake Nicaragua. Picture this, a massive freshwater lake, 8,264 square kilometers, home to bull sharks and over 500 tiny islands sparkling like a gem in Central America. The idea was a 278 kilometers canal cutting through it, linking the Pacific to the Caribbean. Sounds cool, right? Except it'd mean oil spills from giant ships, salt water creeping in, fish dying off, and drinking water for 500,000 people turning into a mess. Scientists freaked out. Imagine a pristine lake turning into a shipping lane overnight. That's the kind of disaster they saw coming. Now fast forward to the new plan Ortega pitched in November 2024. No more Lake Nicaragua, thank goodness. Instead, they're eyeing Lake Zolotlan, also called Lake Managua. It's smaller, about 1,042 square kilometers, and sits right next to Nicaragua's capital. But don't let smaller fool you. It's still a big deal. This lake's been Managua's dumping ground for decades, sewage, trash, you name it. Cleanup efforts have helped, but it's murky and fragile. A canal running through here, 445 kilometers from Bluefields to Puerto Coyente, could stir up that muck, flood nearby farms with salty water, and wipe out what's left of its fish. Picture sleepy villages along the shore suddenly underwater or cut off. Farming's their life, and this could drown it. Then there's Bluefields itself, this chill Caribbean town tucked in a bay with mangroves stretching out like green fingers into the sea. It's quiet now, reachable mostly by boat, with turtles nesting nearby and coral reefs offshore. But a deep water port? That's cranes, concrete, and ships bigger than the town itself. Mangroves would get flattened, those twisty trees that stop erosion and cradle baby fish, gone. The coast could turn from a sleepy paradise to a noisy shipping dump, with oil slicks and trash washing up. Over on the Pacific side, Corinto's fishing boats, small rigs that locals depend on, might get pushed out by freighters. Ever seen a fishing village try to compete with industrial giants? It's not pretty. Scientists are waving red flags here. They say it's a chain reaction. One wrong move, like dredging too deep or spilling fuel, and the whole region's ecosystem could collapse. Nicaragua's got jungles with jaguars, birds you won't find anywhere else, and wetlands that soak up floods. A canal this big, 540 m wide, 27 m deep, means blasting through that. Imagine a bulldozer ripping through a rainforest, leaving mud and silence where birds used to sing. It's not just about one lake or one coast. It's a domino effect across Central America's wild spots. Now let's talk about the people, because they are not exactly throwing a party for this. Back in 2014, when HKND was pushing the old route, farmers went nuts. Picture this, thousands marching with machetes, blocking roads, yelling, "No al canal." Why? The plan was going to snatch 7,000 square kilometers of land, farms, homes, whole villages. Families who'd worked the dirt for generations got told, "Sorry, we need this for progress." Riots broke out, cops fired tear gas, and the anger stuck. That route's dead now. But the new one's got its own headaches. Bluefields is less crowded than the old path, but it's not empty. The folks there, Black, Creole, and indigenous communities like the Rama and Mosquito, have already had their land titles gutted in 2024, down to a fraction of what they once held. Now a canal rolls up. They are bracing for round two. Picture a fisherman who spent his life on that coast suddenly watching his nets come up empty because ships scared the fish away. Jobs sound nice, port workers, builders, but losing your home, your roots, your way of life. That's a tough sell. These people fought off colonial powers centuries ago. They are not about to roll over now. So who's footing this bill and why? That's the next wild ride. And it's all about the cash, funding and global trade angles. All right, let's talk money. Because this canal is not happening without a mountain of it. And finding that cash is a beast of a problem. Nicaragua's got no chance on its own. $60 billion for this thing is pure fantasy when your whole economy is barely scraping by at $15 billion a year. Picture a kid with a lemonade stand trying to buy a skyscraper. That's Nicaragua right now. Their 2024 budget was $2.5 billion. So they're not even in the game. Someone's got to step up with the big bucks, and all eyes are on China. China's the obvious heavy hitter here, but they're playing it cool. KMC, that Chinese engineering crew, signed up in November 2024 to build the Bluefields port, maybe a few $100 million, pocket change for them. But the canal? That's billions. 60 billion, maybe more. And China's not writing that check yet. They've got this thing called the Belt and Road Initiative, a $1 trillion plan to build stuff worldwide, ports, roads, railways, you name it. It's all about locking down trade routes and flexing muscle. They've splashed cash on splashy wins like Pakistan's Gwadar port, a $1.6 billion deal that turned a fishing village into a trade hub. Or Sri Lanka's Hambantota port, a $1.3 billion do bet. But here's the kicker, they've been burned too. Sri Lanka couldn't pay up, and China ended up with a ghost harbor they had to take over. Nicaragua's way riskier. Poorer than Sri Lanka, shakier government, and, oh yeah, the US glaring from right next door. So why is China even sniffing around? Trade, baby. It's all about trade. Panama's canal is a bottleneck, US-friendly, clogged up by droughts, and too small for today's monster ships. Nicaragua's 445 kilometers dream could be a bypass, a way for China to dodge American control and move goods faster. Asia to Europe shipping is a $20 trillion gain yearly. If you cut days off those trips, you're talking billions in savings. China's already deep in Nicaragua. CCS fixing Punta Huit Airport for $430 million, due by 2028, and they've tossed in a wind farm, a metal plant, a drug factory from that 2024 summit. A canal fits their playbook. Think Djibouti, where they built a $3 billion base to watch shipping lanes. But after HKND's $50 billion flop in 2018, they are cautious. Why risk another bust? Now here's where Ortega gets crazy. He's pitching US cash too. Imagine this, China and America, who can't agree on lunch, co-funding a canal while sniping over tariffs and Taiwan. It's nuts, but not totally bonkers. US shipping companies, big dogs like Maersk or FedEx, might bite if Panama keeps choking. Panama raked in $5.6 billion in tolls last year, $5.5 billion of effort to widen the waterway for the world's biggest cargo ships. But droughts cut traffic by 29% in 2024 to 2025. Ships are waiting. Costs are climbing. A Nicaragua now could slash that, maybe steal 20% of Panama's business. Picture cargo giants salivating over a cheaper, faster route. Ortega's banking on that. But politics could torch it. Washington's not thrilled about China cozying up in Central America. Trump's even mumbled about retaking Panama in January 2025. A Chinese canal 1,000 miles from Florida. That's a Pentagon panic attack waiting to happen. Let's zoom out. Globally, this thing's a game changer, or a total bust. Panama's maxed out. 12,582 ships crossed in 2024 to 2025, way down from its 14,000 ship peak. Nicaragua could grab that slack, reroute Asia to Europe cargo, and shave days off trips. Picture this, a freighter loaded with iPhones leaving Shanghai, hitting Bluefields, and docking in Rotterdam faster than ever. Trade maps flip. Billions shift. Panama's locks are 32 meters wide, built for 1914 ships. Nicaragua is promising 540 meters wide, 27 meters deep, room for today's 300,000-ton beasts. If it works, China's clout spikes, Nicaragua gets rich, or at least less broke, and global shipping gets a new king. But if it flops? OOF. China's embarrassed. Nicaragua's bankrupt. And the world shrugs. Look at Sri Lanka. Hambantotter's a cautionary tale, $1.3 billion down, barely any ships, and China stuck holding the bag. Nicaragua's dire. Its GDP's half Sri Lanka's. Its government's a mess. And the US could slap sanctions faster than you can say, trade war. No one's all in yet. KMC's port is a toe in the water, not a dive. China might play it slow, build blue fields, see if it hums, then decide. Or it's a bluff, look tough, rattle cages, walk away if it sours. What's the hook here? Cash and power. Always is. China wants a trade edge. Nicaragua wants a lifeline. And the US wants neither to happen. Ever wonder why money moves the world? This is it. $60 billion is the ticket, and no one's punched it yet. It's a high-stakes poker game, and we're all watching the cards. How's this stack up to Panama? Next up, we're measuring the giants. It's a showdown worth sticking around for. All right, let's put these two in the ring, Panama's Canal versus Nicaragua's big dream. Panama's the champ, hands down. 77 kilometers long, built from 1904 to 1914, a legend that's moved over 1 million ships since it opened. At its peak, it handled 14,000 ships a year, raking in $5.6 billion in tolls in 2024 alone. But lately, it's stumbling. Drought slowed traffic to about 10,000 ships in 2024 to 2025, down 29% from normal. Picture ships lined up, waiting days to squeeze through because the water's too low. Panama's locks are tight, 32 meters wide, 12-meter drafts, built for a century ago, not today's mega freighters. Nicaragua stepping up with a bold pitch, 445 kilometers, 540 meters wide, 27 meters deep, ready to take on the giants Panama can't touch. Let's break it down. Panama's a short, brutal cut through the isthmus. It starts at Colon on the Caribbean, climbs locks to Gaton Lake, a massive artificial pool 26 meters above sea level, then drops back down to Panama City on the Pacific. It's efficient but small. Those locks max out at 366 meters long, for ships up to 50,000 tons. Today's freighters try 400 meters and 300,000 tons. Panama's like a skinny straw for a thick milkshake. Nicaragua's plan flips that. Starting at Bluefields, it's a long haul north, hitting Lake Solot, weaving through locks at Elizondo and La Fuente, and ending at Cointa. It's 5 times longer but built for the future. At 540 meters wide, there's no squeezing, and 27-meter depths handle the deepest hulls. Imagine a highway versus a back road. Nicaragua's betting big. Building-wise, Panama was a nightmare. 25,000 workers died, mostly from malaria and yellow fever, slogging through swamps and rock. It took 10 years, finished in 1914, and cost $375 million back then, billions today adjusted. Picture muddy trenches, dynamite blasts, and workers dropping like flies. Brutal stuff. Nicaragua's got modern toys, excavators, drones, better medicine, so fewer graves, hopefully. But it's a monster job, 445 kilometers through jungles, hills, and fault lines. Panama's earthquakes were bad, Nicaragua's got its own shaky ground. Central America's not kind to big digs. The old HKND route planned locks too, think giant water elevators, but this new one's got more, plus an artificial lake. It's a decade-long haul minimum, and $60 billion is the starting price, way pricier than Panama's old tap. Money's where Panama shines. It's a cash cow. That $5.6 billion in 2024 tolls. Pure profit for Panama's government. 12,582 ships paid up, even with droughts. Each crossing costs $100,000 to $500,000 depending on size. Nicaragua's banking on volume, bigger ships, more traffic, maybe cheaper tolls to steal business. Panama moves 520 million tons of cargo yearly. Nicaragua is guessing it can grab a chunk, maybe 100 million tons to start. But can it cash in like Panama? No one knows. It's untested, unbuilt, a blank check waiting to be filled. Imagine Panama as a steady ATM, Nicaragua is a risky slot machine, big payout or bust. Control's a big deal too. Panama was US run till 1999, built it, owned it, then handed it over after decades. Now it's Panama's baby, neutralish, open to all. Nicaragua's canal? Ortega's calling shots with China pulling strings. Picture this, a dictator who rigs elections and a superpower eyeing trade dominance, not exactly open for business. Panama's a free-for-all. Nicaragua's got baggage, less freedom, more geopolitics. If China funds it, they might lock in deals, discounts for their ships, maybe even a base nearby. The US hates that. Trump's Panama rants hint at pushback. Ever wonder why control matters? It's who gets the keys to the trade castle. So how do they stack up? Panama's proven, over a century of ships, a lifeline for global trade. It's moved 6% of the world's cargo at peak. Asia to Europe, US coasts linked tight. Nicaragua is a rookie, 445 kilometers of ambition, no track record. Panama's droughts are its Achilles heel. 2024's low water showed cracks. Nicaragua is promising a drought-proof path. Lake Zolotlan's fed by rivers, less prone to drying up. If it works, it's a trade titan. Think Shanghai to Rotterdam, faster, cheaper. Picture freighters skipping Panama's line, hitting Bluefields instead. Trade maps redraw overnight. But if it flops, Panama keeps laughing. Nicaragua's longer route could mean higher costs, more fuel, more time, unless tolls undercut Panama. Building's a gamble. Panama finished. Nicaragua's got years of mud ahead. Panama's a machine, 520 million tons yearly. Nicaragua is guessing at potential. It's champ versus challenger. Panama's got the belt. Nicaragua's swinging for it. Big dreams, bigger risks. Doesn't that sound like every underdog story? Construction update, all right, it's February 28, 2025. No shovels, no dirt flying. What's the holdup? Money's the big one. This thing's a cash hog. The old HKND plan was $50 billion. This new 445-kilometer beast could hit $60 billion easy. Nicaragua's broke. 2024 budget was $2.5 billion. That's like asking a kid with a piggy bank to buy a yacht. China's got deep pockets, but they are not tossing billions without a plan. No funding's locked in. Ortega is just waving hopes, not checks. Then there's the tech side, 445 kilometers through jungles, lakes, mountains. That's insane. It's 540 meters wide, 27 meters deep. Imagine carving that, with locks and artificial lakes tossed in. Experts are like, where's the homework? No detailed studies, no engineering blueprints beyond Ortega's summit slides. The old route had reports. This one's running on fumes. Critics call it not viable, too big, too messy, too many unknowns. Politics are a mess too. Ortega's a dictator. Elections are a joke. Protests get squashed. Investors hate chaos, and Nicaragua's got plenty. The US isn't thrilled either. A Chinese canal next door screams trouble. Sanctions could drop any minute. And locals? They are skeptical. Land grabs in 2014 left a bad taste. Farmers aren't lining up to cheer this time. So 2025? Maybe, if China writes a blank check and Nicaragua pulls a miracle. But history's betting on delays. HKND's flop took years to die. Ever wonder why big ideas stall out? This one's got all the classics, cash, chaos, and a whole lot of doubt. Still, the dream's alive, barely. Subscribe now and become a part of Expedition Diaries for more.